Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Chris's Collectible Corner, and for those of you who are new, thank you for coming through to tune in for this review. And today we're taking a look at the 1/12 scale Manipple, I'm not sure how you pronounce this, or is it
Manipulation
Armored Batman. But before we get into the figure itself, if you wouldn't mind, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification to be notified when new reviews are uploaded to the channel. It really helps and I appreciate the support. Alright, so looking at the packaging, it's pretty simple and straightforward. We have an image of the armored Batman standing in the rain from the film, M074-3 on the side. I guess that's the model number. And then a nice little silhouette, I think, of what I think is supposed to be Gotham City. And I think that little lightning bolt is the logo for this company. That's pretty much it, just those two images and just black, and there's a nice little frosted transparent cover that goes over the box, but aside from that it's pretty bare bones. So let's get this guy out the package. Alright, so here we have the Manipple Armored Batman standing straight up and down in the light box. From head to toe, he stands at exactly 7 inches, so he'll definitely fit in nicely with the other 6-inch scale figures that are about this scale. Now looking at him from first impressions, he looks really nice. Now there's 3 different versions of this Batman. There's one that's more accurate to the film, that has more of a silver gunmetal gray armor, and then another one that's battle damage. But you know, for me it's Batman, so it only made sense to get the black version.
That's racist.
Based on first impressions, this looks really nice. Even when I took him out the box, he had some heft to him and was cold to the touch. So I actually think some of these metal pieces that are on him are actually made out of die cast. So I wasn't expecting that. Now looking at the cape doesn't have any wires in it, so it just kind of stays as it is, drapes down, and has a tetheredness on the bottom. But I don't really mind that because Batman wasn't really doing too much flying around in this suit. I assume because the suit is so damn heavy. But the details on it are really nice. Like, I really like the scuffing and the scratches from the battle damage from the fight that he had with Superman on the armor. But underneath the armor, there's a cloth material that's made to look like, you know, the regular bat suit underneath it. So this way he can still move around. And I thought that was actually a really nice touch, that they actually added a cloth material underneath these armored parts. So this way it wouldn't hinder his articulation too much. And I think it's a really good balance of having the cloth and then die cast and plastic on this figure. Then he also has the strap across his chest as well. I guess that's what kind of holds the cape in place. But overall, this is a really nice looking figure. I'm thoroughly impressed. I've never gotten anything from this company before. I mean, you can obviously tell this design is heavily inspired from the Frank Miller Armored Batman in the comics. And I think the proportions are spot on. He looks nice and stocky and ready to go to combat with Superman. But now let's take a look at some of his accessories. Alright, so looking at his accessories, he comes with an additional helmet, so this way you can swap out the mouthpieces to have different expressions. And I will say, for such a small figure or small head, these mouth expressions are sculpted really nicely. They really capture the detail. They even have like the little stubble and 5 o'clock shadow on the lower half of the face and the chin. The teeth are very well sculpted. The lips are painted really nicely. Yeah, I'm actually like super impressed like how well they were able to get that kind of detail in there. And it's pretty simple. You just pop it in under the bottom and then slide it in place. So this way you can have the different expressions that you want for Batman. Then he comes with 3 different pairs of hands and then 1 single hand for holding the gun that he was using against Superman when he was shooting those kryptonite smoke grenades. The first pair of hands is made to hold the grappling gun, so you could put it in either hand. The second pair of hands is also made to like hold something, but unfortunately this version doesn't come with the kryptonite spear, and it's not made to hold the grappler because how the thumb is placed, it kind of angles it downward, so it wouldn't really make sense for him to shoot it like that. And then the last pair of hands is just a more relaxed pair of hands. Also, I forgot to mention with the gun, the piece on the back can actually slide out so you could put the hand in a little bit easier. And I think this other part that's like has like the 3 grenade things in there, I think that's meant to be in the front. I'm not sure. Like I said, there's no direction with this thing, so I'm just guessing. And then lastly, he comes with a little stand, which is nice. I wish more figures came with stands, and that was kind of like the standard. So I appreciate that we get one with this figure. Oh, I also forgot to mention that unlike a lot of figures, this guy comes with a battery, so this way you can put it in the head and then a little magnet to activate it, so this way you can light up his eyes. So this is really cool. Nice little effect that they added here, and I appreciate that they gave us a battery, that you didn't have to buy it separately. Alright, let's take a look at this Batman's articulation. I'm going to be a little bit careful because, like I said, there weren't any instructions that came with him. Plus, he has cloth goods, so I don't want to tear any of that. So, we're going to start with the upper body, starting with the head. Let's just get the focus right. Alright, so he can't really look down at all. That's as far as he goes. But he can look up a decent amount. So that's pretty good. So if you want to recreate that pose from Batman v Superman, you can. You can tilt sideways, look around. So all that is good. Alright, now let's see the arms. As far as the arms, yeah, you see with the claw, that's why I want to be careful. So I'm not going to push it too much, but as you see, the shoulder plates, slide over the top. So you can go about 90 degrees. So that's nice. Let's bring it back down. Okay. Elbow bend. It's about 90. Like I said, I'm not gonna really push it, and I could feel already some resistance. So, does he have a bicep swivel? Yeah, he does. You know, but once again, it's limited by all these pieces over here. Same here. All right. Does he have a forearm swivel? No, just the armor kind of moves on top of it. Alright, now for the crunch. Can he crunch? No. He cannot crunch at all. I don't feel anything. Nothing is giving. Alright, the crunch is non-existent. That's not happening. He can turn side to side a little bit. But as far as crunching, nah. Not even on the upper chest part. Nothing. So, here we go with that. Now let's see his legs. He can kick about that high up. Knee bend, and this part moves as well. So you can cover it up if you like. Thigh swivel. Can kick over here. Yeah, like I said, I could feel some resistance just because the way how they went about this. So yeah, and let's look at the feet. Yeah, they can't really do much. I mean, they can point up. They can shimmy to the side a little bit. Does he have a toe bend? No toe bend. So, okay. So that's all there is to his articulation, honestly. There isn't really much else you can do. And I'm not gonna try to force it and break this thing, but yeah, he's kind of limited. So, yeah, I get it for how it's made and whatnot. Kind of wish they did something a little bit different, but there you go. Alright, now for some comparisons. Here we have him next to the in-art, The Dark Knight Rises Batman, and I think these two scale pretty nicely together. I mean, I feel like it's believable that if this Batman from The Dark Knight Rises put on this armored suit, he would be that much taller. So, I actually like how these two look next to each other, and this is the reason why I got this figure. And now here we have him next to the Mafex Hush Batman, and these two look cool next to each other, but obviously the Mafex is based more on the comic, and the Armored Batman is based off the Batman v Superman movie, which has a more realistic look. And I think a great comparison that most people are going to compare this guy to anyways is the DLX Threezero Iron Man Mark V. And I think these two scale really nicely to one another, especially Batman having his armor on. He's obviously a little bit bigger and taller, so I kind of feel like he matches Iron Man's stature. So these two look really nice next to each other as well. Alright guys, so that was my review on the Manipple Armored Batman. I got mine from 5K Toys. He came out to about $88 after taxes and shipping. So, not gonna lie, a little bit pricey. He's still in stock on the website. The regular version and this version, the battle damage version, is already sold out. So if you're interested, I'll put the link in the description. Now, I know this is Batman, but for you guys who are regular viewers of the channel, you guys usually know I review these figures using the Dragon Radar and the Dragon Balls from a scale from 1 to 7. So using that, I'm going to give this guy a 4. I'm going to give it a 4 just because I feel like he comes with a decent spread of accessories. I don't know why they didn't include the Kryptonite Spear with this guy. I also think the articulation is very limited, as you saw, but I think that's because of the way that the figure is built and made, and then also the price. For what it is, I think it's a little bit expensive. I think now they kind of bumped up the price on it, so he's a little bit pricey. So, but I definitely think he has a good shelf presence, especially if you're just going to have him standing there or doing minimal movement. So he does look good. There's great sculpt on here, paint work and whatnot. So I don't want to knock it all the way down. There's definitely great work here. I just think for the lack of accessories, articulation, and for the price that you're paying, I don't really think it's worth the value that they're asking for. That's me personally. But you guys let me know what you think. Are you going to pick this guy up? Are you going to pass on this and get the in-art armor Batman instead? If that's the case, let me know in the comments below. With that said, I hope you guys found this review informative. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification to be notified when new reviews are uploaded to the channel. Thank you for stopping by my corner of the internet, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.